The life of an empath is a roller coaster of emotions. One minute you're walking down the street and drawing the touch of the brilliant sun on your skin, feeling the wind blow through your hair, and thinking the world is an amazing place. And literally in a second, your whole world turns upside down. And it feels as if you are being sucked into a vacuum of pain. Not the physical kind of pain that you can pinpoint its location, but the type that feels as though your heart is being stabbed with 1,000 needles, so you want to rip it out of your chest just to stop you from feeling that pain. The words I used to describe this experience are vivid, but that is what an empath goes through every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. When you are not experiencing pain, you are experiencing sadness or anger, and on the rare occasion, inexplicable joy. You go through a rainbow of emotions at 1,000 miles per hour. What makes this experience more complicated is the fact that you cannot even identify which of these emotions are yours. So if you are asked why you feel the way you do, it's difficult to provide a logical reason. If you didn't have guidance like I did, you would think you were just moody and going through long bouts of mood swings. Without knowledge of what you are and what your gift entails, you will quickly find yourself becoming isolated and impatient with whoever you deal with. Sometimes you get labeled as crazy. In the movies, it sounds pretty amazing to be able to sense the feelings and emotional experiences of other people. They make the psychic ability of an empath sound like some kind of mutant power. But for those who have to live through the emotions of other people, it is a nightmare. Because right in the middle of celebrating your own experiences, what you feel in that moment is swept aside and you are flooded with the emotions of other people, which oftentimes is not always positive. That being said, the life of an empath has beauty in its pain. When you listen to your friends talk about their struggles, you literally walk in their shoes. This gives you a unique perspective when it comes to managing that situation because you are not just the outsider looking in. You are an insider with an outsider's perspective, and this makes you the perfect person to offer advice. This is perhaps the reason people feel naturally comfortable around you. They feel heard and their emotions are validated. You are not the kind of friend who takes a side when there is conflict because you have the unique ability to actually see all sides of the equation. If you can discipline yourself and train this natural talent to the point where your psychic ability is not a random event, but a controlled skill, people will find you a little less annoying, and I mean that positively. This annoyance happens because even before they can give voice to the feelings that they have or the emotions racing through their minds, you will already have a handle on it. And so while they are stuttering through their words, you simply point out what they feel accurately. Your assessment may be spot on, but no one likes a know-it-all. Another benefit of being a psychic empath is that people cannot be fake around you. You can spot their insincerity from a mile away. Those who wish to manipulate you might hate you for this because they will never get the opportunity to turn on their so-called charm, since you know the game inside out. But it doesn't mean you will always make the right choices. You are human, after all, and as we all know, one unique quality that all of humanity shares is our propensity to make mistakes. The contents of this book are not to help you lead a perfect life. Perfection, if you didn't know already, is an illusion. This book is about getting you to a place where your empath abilities are no longer a hindrance to living the life you deserve, but rather they become the resource that enhances your experiences in life. The relationships I have in life are more meaningful because of my empath abilities. I am more conscious of how I spend my energy, especially when it comes to dealing with people. Some people have so much negativity that just being in their presence can drain you physically and emotionally. As an empath, I spot such people and learn how to manage my emotions to a point where I can decide whether to be in their presence or not. And if I choose to be around them, I can also determine how long. That is because I also see their side of the story, so I don't automatically write them off. Instead, I find myself compelled to provide guidance that can perhaps help them shed that negative aura. This is the calling of most empaths. We are not given this gift so that we can become hermits and avoid people completely, or live in la-la land by surrounding ourselves with only people who feed us with positive energy. We are here to provide a balance. We see both sides of the equation, and this allows us to provide a perspective that is balanced and without bias. A lot of people are lost in the world today, and I don't mean to be graphically lost. I'm talking about people who have had to live their lives on one end of the spectrum for so long that life is the only thing they know. An empath can help them confront the darkest fears so that they can see the light. This doesn't mean we're supposed to save the world. That is not the responsibility of one person. But the thing is, nature has a way of ensuring that there is balance. And when it comes to our feelings and experiences, the empath is that balance. However, finding your way to that point where you can become the person you have been called to be is where a lot of us struggle. I was privileged to have more than one empath in my immediate environment to provide me with the basic information I needed to understand what I was experiencing. And even with that much help, I know how much I struggled. So, putting this book together became a necessity for me. I made a lot of mistakes and wasted a lot of opportunities, and I still carry some guilt for all of this with me. Still, despite all of that, I was able to turn my life around for the better. I learned how to make something of my gift, and this led me to the birth of this book. So from the first chapter to the last page of this book, we are going to work through a process that helps us understand what we are and how we can thrive in our space. Our first task is understanding who an empath is.